Die Damen und Herren, schönen guten Morgen. So, ich halte mich extrem kurz, denn Herr, den ich heute Präsentation hält, wird nicht von mir vorgestellt, sondern von der Madame Anna Bordus von der Asteroid Foundation. Ich wollte schon von just merci für kommen sollen, auf hat das obligatorisch dafür. Ist das einfach? Ich wollte schon von just merci für kommen sollen, gehen wir später den Handy eventuell auszulassen. Und das Prinzip ist den, dass das heute eine Stunde lang dauert. Und dass du noch Profen, die um 10:35 Uhr misst tun, auch censiert sind, hier zu kommen, und dann geht er mit denen an die Klasse, am Matto, erst Stunde fertig. Gut, das war es schon für mein Teil. Ich gehe das Mikro weiter mit Madame Anna Bordus. Das heißt, das übrigens organisiert vom LGL für euch, an der Asteroid Foundation, an der Association des Parents d'Élèves hier im LGL.
Thank you. Hello, dear students of LGL. My name is Anna Bordes, and I'm the Program Director of the Asteroid Foundation. I would also like to say hello to everybody who is watching us online all over the world, all the community of people interested in space and asteroids. And I would like to introduce our speaker today. So Cătălin Beldea is a famous Romanian eclipse chaser. He is also an astrophotographer with numerous awards. And as well, he is a science journalist. And today, he will tell you all you need to know about the eclipses and also how you can see them yourself. And I would also like to say that this program is organized together with LGL by the Asteroid Foundation and is co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. So, Cătălin, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thanks, Anna. Now, yes, my name is Cătălin Beldea. I come from Romania, and I chase eclipses all over the world. You know, these are my spots on the globe. I have 14 eclipses on 6.5 continents. Why 6.5 continents, you may ask? I went down here near Antarctica to see my 13th. Anyone knows what continent is this? It's Australia, right? And this? North America. And this? So, and this is Siberia. I went there in 2008 for an eclipse, extraordinary eclipse in Siberia. Also with the train. Have you heard about the Trans-Siberian train? Yeah. Yeah, it's a quite long journey, 3 days from Moscow to Siberia and back other 3 days. So, we were talking about planets, because planets have umbras. So, what planet is this? This is the Earth, right? It's our blue planet. And we have like how many planets? 8 planets? 9 planets? This is a very interactive presentation. Like to, yeah? And our planet is the 3rd planet in the solar system, right? Am I right? Yeah, thanks. Okay. So, our natural satellite is the moon. Now, our planet is about 4 times bigger than the moon. So what is actually an eclipse? What's happening in the solar system? Anyone knows? You know? Yes? Maybe you? Can you come closer? Yes? Please? No. Okay. So, yeah. A little bit of applause. Yeah. Come here, please. So, we are looking at the screen, and what do you see?
I see the moon that orbits the Earth.
Yes. And the sun, where is the sun in here?
The sun is from the right side.
Okay. Sun is at the right side, and the moon is orbiting the Earth, and the Earth is in the center. And what can we see here? Umbras?
So I know that the moon needs to align with the sun so we can see the moon. Yeah, I think the solar eclipse it comes from there.
Yeah. So, yes, we have to have the sun, the moon, and the Earth aligned perfectly, right? But remember, all the bodies in our solar system have umbras. So, the moon, the Earth, an asteroid, a comet, will cast a shadow. Okay? And if we position ourselves into the cone of the shadow, we will have an eclipse. Okay? Thanks. So, the sun, you can, yeah, you actually can go, yes. I will. So how come the moon is perfectly aligned with the sun? You look at this in the sky and you see the sun like this, okay? And the moon in apparent diameter is quite the same, a little bit closer to us, the moon is bigger. A little bit further to us, at apogee, the moon is smaller. But sometimes the moon is near perfectly the same diameter with the sun. So we will have the total solar eclipse. When the moon is actually smaller, we'll have an annular eclipse of the sun. So these are the diagrams of the eclipses. Here in the left, you can see a total solar eclipse or an eclipse. You have the sun, the moon, and the Earth. And in the right side, you can see how a moon eclipse is formed. So we'll have the sun, of course, further away, and the Earth, and then the moon. Okay? And let me see if this works. This is a, let me see. I have a, yes. This should work. Yes. So the moon is orbiting the Earth, as you can see over here. But we don't have every month a total solar eclipse. Why? Because of the angle of the orbit of the moon, you know? Is like 5 degrees tilted. So only 2.5 months we have an eclipse, or 1 and 4 months we have a total solar eclipse somewhere on the Earth. So let me show you this animation here. Yes. So the moon is over here, and you can see the shadow casting over the Earth, and always the shadow will move from the east, from the west part of the Earth to the east part of the Earth. Okay, and now we should see an animation from the moon. Actually, we go to the moon and we'll see this animation. This shadow will move from the west part to the east part, and the velocity actually is quite big. It's 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers an hour, maybe more at the edges. And this is another animation to see how the eclipse is formed on the Earth. Okay. And these are the partial phases. The first thing that appears on Earth is a partial eclipse of the sun. And then this umbra is coming from the west, and traveling to the west, and at this rate. It will travel like 13,000 kilometers on the Earth, and you have to travel to see one. And this was the eclipse of 2019, seen from Atacama Desert in Chile. This is another interesting animation. It shows the eclipse, our European eclipse in 1999 on August 11. Let me see if it starts. I don't know if, okay. Oh, it's okay. So we had our eclipse here in Europe. It was, traveling from the west part of the Europe and passes through Luxembourg here, and then Romania, and then passes through to the eastern part of the globe over Iran and India. And this is actually what we can see at a solar eclipse. First of all, we see an eclipse as a partial eclipse. I mean, all the eclipses are partials. And if you move in the right spot, you can see actually the total solar eclipse. So this is the sun. These are the spots on the sun. And this is the moon entering the sun. And it's like going this way and this way. It's like in a game. And you can see the partial phases for 1.5 hours. And then we have this diamond ring, this last blast of the rays of the sun traveling to the valleys of the moon. And then we have a flash, a big flash for 1 or 2 seconds. And then we have the corona of the sun. The corona is the purpose that I chase eclipses all over the world. So the corona is very important, but when we have the total solar eclipse, we will also see what's happening at the edge of the sun. This is a protuberance, which is actually a plasma from the sun, and you can see this only in the time of a total solar eclipse. This is like 6 Earths. If you add 6 Earths, that's the height of this protuberance. And also you can see the Bailey's beads and the diamond ring. And this is the corona. You cannot see actually this picture because this is a photographic picture of the corona. It is manipulated, if you like. But this is why we travel all over the world to see and to measure this atmosphere of the sun. So at the sun edge on the photosphere, we have like 6,000 degrees Celsius. But in the corona, you can have like 2 million degrees. So this is not yet being, explained. So our pictures and our, studies will actually explain this phenomenon better. And this is the 2 diamond rings, because in the first place the moon will enter in front of the sun, and we'll have this diamond ring, first diamond ring, and then the second diamond ring. And from where can we see a total solar eclipse? Now, this is interesting because we now can travel by car or by ship, or of course by plane. And I will show you some interesting places that where you can see. So the first one, of course, is from the ground. This is the expedition in Chile in 2019 from Atacama Desert. And this is also from ground, from Indonesia in 2016. Is very near to equator. You can see the shadow, and then it lights up again for like from 2 minutes apart. And from the ground with telescope, we can see the protuberances and the Baily's beads and what's happening at the edge of the sun, and of course the corona also from the ground with photographic aid. But if you have a plane, of course a small plane, you can travel to see the eclipse from the plane. This is an expedition that we make at the equator in Africa in 2013, and actually this is me here with two photographic cameras, and this is a pilot, 747 pilot, who said, "Oh yeah, it's okay to open the window." So we opened the window at 3,000 meters up in the sky. We were above the clouds because we couldn't see the eclipse from ground, from Kenya. So we flew to Uganda and see this eclipse with opened window. And this is the image. The actual eclipse took only 10 seconds. So we went for this eclipse to see only 10 seconds of the eclipse, but we couldn't put our telescopes to work to the ground, and we had the B plan and embarked this small plane and saw the eclipse from 3,000 meters up in the sky. But also you can see the eclipse actually from plane with closed window, of course. This is the expedition that I've told you in the first place near Antarctica. We were over the Antarctic Ocean here, and the Antarctica is someplace over there. And we had this cone of the eclipse in our site. We actually went there to establish a world record, but it wasn't been done. So this eclipse was very interesting because we had access to the airplane and to the pilots, and actually to speak with them, to place the two planes in one spot. You see, the other plane were over us, with the 300 meters over. And this is the eclipse we've seen. And the pilots did a stunt, moved the airplane to the left so they could photograph each other. So these were, a surprise for us. You can see the plane here. It's quite unique picture above the Antarctica and the eclipse and a plane, a 787 plane. And I also have, I think this is the movie. So you can see the movement of the umbra from the left to the right. Maybe I will put it again. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, thanks. Maybe. Okay, so you can see the umbra coming from the side to this side, and the plane is over there. The eclipse actually took place for 2.5 minutes. So, you dropped the mic. Okay, and this is the main picture of the eclipse from that plane, from that expedition in 2021. Or you can see the the eclipse from stratosphere. This is our this was our project in 2012 from Queensland, from Australia, and we launched a balloon into the stratosphere, And my mother asked me, will you fly to the stratosphere? I said, no, I won't fly to the stratosphere. But we will launch a balloon with a small box. And in the box, we will have some cameras and some sensors to measure the atmosphere and what's happening in the cone of the eclipse. And this is a picture from like 27 kilometers up in the stratosphere in the sky. It was the first time that humans photographed the eclipse from that height. So, man-made. But you know, in this era, you can also see the eclipse from space. This is a picture took in 2021. You saw the eclipse in 2021 near Antarctica, and this was the picture from shot some 1 million kilometers away from Earth. So this is how it looks from space, an eclipse. It's like a dot here, a shadow that is traveling on the Earth. Or you can go to the moon. You can go to the moon also to see an umbra traveling to the Earth. This is a picture. I think it's taken in 2016, and this is the eclipse that I saw from Indonesia. And my last expedition, my 14th expedition, was on an island that is called Timor. Have you ever heard about this island? Timor-Leste? Timor? Mm-hmm. It's near Indonesia, and it's near Australia. So it's in between Indonesia and Australia. And this was the invitation, actually an invitation from the Embassy of Portugal, actually to meet some kids from there, I mean from the jungle. I was in the school, in this little island, in the jungle to speak with some kids about eclipses. And this is the eclipse that traveled in 2023 on April 20th on the Earth. It begins the traveling in Indian Ocean and then touched this little island, which is called Timor, and then into the Pacific Ocean. This is Romania, and this is Timor Island, between Indonesia and Australia. Some 12,000 kilometers I have to. And these are the kids from that school. First I've asked, how many students are there? And they told me there are 800. 800. I said, no, I cannot speak to 800 kids. They don't understand English. They don't understand what is the sun. And they don't understand what is a planet. And, 800, it was a large number. And they said, okay, we will set for 100 or maybe 150 kids. Actually, they were only 40 or 50 kids in a classroom. And they're very anxious to find out about the eclipses and how to see a partial eclipse or a total eclipse from their island. And also, I brought them some eclipse glasses, which are very, very important to observe the partial phases of an eclipse. You could burn your retina if you do not have these special glasses, special solar protection, and I'll give them 1,000 eclipse shades for the eclipse. Actually, this island is a remote island. It's a beautiful island, but no tourism over there. But in the short time that I visited, like 1.5 days, in one day I was able to see a crocodile, a white whale, which is called the beluga, and some dolphins in one day. So it's very interesting if tourism will catch up on this island. It's very, very beautiful. And it's called actually the Mystery Island, if you read Jules Verne. Mystery Island, bring you something there? Or maybe for the professors, the Mystery Island. Yes, this was Captain's Nemo Island. So this is a picture, a real picture from the eclipse saw on that island, and this is a little video. You can see it's darkening, and the eclipse was like 1 minute and 14 seconds. And what is interesting at this eclipse is that all over the place, the people all over the world are coming to one place and meet up and look at one phenomenon, which is the total solar eclipse, which in my opinion is the most beautiful, and it is beautiful because it's also a predictable phenomenon. So this is a Belgian guy, and these are some Chinese guys, and this, you can see in the picture, are Indonesian astronomers on the site of the eclipse. And this is the corona of this 2023 eclipse, and this resembles like a star, you know. Look at these beautiful streamers from the corona of the eclipse. And very, very important for you is to remember that the partial phases can only be seen with eclipse glasses. So when you have a partial eclipse, put the glasses on. So the partial phases use filter for the eclipses, and during totality you look at the eclipse with no filter. So in these phases, these partial phases, you should use the filters, and then in the totality, no filter at all. And what's next for me? It's a very interesting expedition to the US in April next year, and we will also try to establish something. We will try to launch a balloon, a stratospheric balloon at 35 kilometers into the stratosphere, and from there to launch an UAV. That's it's actually a drone without any engines. So it will flow like this, and we will be able to bring it to our spot. And the movement of the eclipse is like 3,000 kilometers an hour from Dallas, from Texas, and the movement of the drone will be like 1,000 kilometers an hour. So we will be able to to get 6 minutes of this eclipse out of 4 minutes. So it should be a world record at this time. So next total solar eclipse in Europe may be interesting for you, because we will have a total solar eclipse in Spain in 2026 on 12th of August. And it's near you, it's nearby, and it's in Europe. And you can see the eclipse from Spain. Actually, the best of this eclipse, it's near Valencia. So you can set and you can arrange this with your parents to go to the seaside on 12th of August 2026, 3 years from now. Much interesting, it's the eclipse from 2027 on August 2nd, and it's visible from Spain and Egypt. From Spain, from southern Spain, and from Egypt, from a place which is called Luxor, and it's very interesting because there were the pharaohs over there, and is the biggest and is the longest eclipse in this century. Is like 6 minutes and 20 seconds, if I recall correctly. And next eclipse is this month. We have 2 eclipses coming to us this month. So the first eclipse is the annular solar eclipse on 14th of October, but it is not visible from Europe. It's only visible from 2 continents, from North America and from South America. And you can see the eclipse like this. So the moon is actually further away from us, so it's a little bit smaller, and will not cover the entire part of the sun. So we will have this annular eclipse of the sun. Remember, a total solar eclipse is like this, and an annular resembles like this. So you can travel to America or to South America, to the US on October 14th to see this eclipse. And for the Europeans, we will only have a partial lunar eclipse here in Europe on October 28th. It's actually a Halloween lunar eclipse. So how rare is a Halloween lunar eclipse? It's like once, no, it's in a lifetime, but in 500 years. Yeah, 1 in 500 years we have this eclipse on the exact time of the Halloween. Actually, the Halloween is held in 31st of October, but this eclipse is in a Saturday of Halloween, so it's much interesting because it's in the the weekend of Halloween. So you can see this partial eclipse is not a very large eclipse. It's only a 12% magnitude, but you should see it like this. So not like this. This is the total lunar eclipse. Moon is not covered by anything, and it's get only red at the eclipse time, and the partial eclipse will be like this. This is actually the cone of the umbra of the Earth. So I brought also this telescope, and we'll actually be stargazing at night this evening from 2100 hours, and I will show you the map, an address where to come, and what to see through telescope tonight. So we will see the Saturn with the rings. Has anyone seen Saturn with rings? No Saturn? You've seen, you are the astronomer of the group, right? Yeah, of course. So you haven't seen through telescope the planets yet? No Saturn? No Jupiter? So you actually have the chance to see Saturn, and a moon of Saturn, which is called Titan, is the largest satellite for Saturn. It's actually larger than a planet. It's actually larger than Mercury, this Titan satellite. And of course, you will see Jupiter with main satellites. Is anyone here who knows the name of the satellites? The 4th main satellites of Jupiter? Yeah? One of them. Europe. Yeah. We will be able to see all 4 Galilean satellites tonight. They are called Io, Europa, Ganymede, or Ganymede, and Callisto. And this is what we'll see from the telescope with a little, round ring around this planet. This planet is called, of course, Saturn, and this is a satellite. We will see it tonight at 21:30. And this is Jupiter with the 4 satellites. They are not aligned. They are actually moving and revolving around this big planet. So this is the meeting spot. I think you can read it properly. 185 Rue Principale, Münzbach-Schuttenraj. Huh? I was not very good in this German languages. Schutrange, huh? Schutrange, maybe. Yes. So you should be there at 9:30 p.m. and we'll see Saturn at first, and then Jupiter from that place. That place is actually a good place to stargaze because it's darker. From the city lights, you cannot see the stars. But from there, you can see also the stars and better, of course, these planets. Before question and answers, I would like to show you some gallery of mine of eclipses. So, where is it? These are the gallery of all my eclipses all over the world. Okay. Now, this was actually the first eclipse that I saw, and I saw it from Romania in 1999. Okay. This is not a bad picture, but you can see pixelized because this was taken on film. And this was the eclipse, the most beautiful eclipse that I saw in 2006 from Turkey. It had the most beautiful corona that I saw from then on. And this is the eclipse from Siberia that I saw from 2008. This is not quite good on this screen. And we'll move on to an eclipse that I saw from South Pacific. This is actually a bubble eclipse through clouds, and something was reaching out the clouds. It was the eclipse. And these stripes also are a phenomenon. You can see those stripes. And they are called shadow bands. And it was the first time that we managed to photograph them in history. In 2010, from South Pacific Ocean, from a little island called Hao. This is an eclipse, especially very interesting eclipse, because this eclipse happened in midnight, at 1200 hours in midnight. And this is the picture from stratosphere with the eclipse and the umbra over Australia. This is also the umbra from that balloon. Okay, this is another interesting phenomenon. It's called Venus transit. This little dot is actually the planet Venus that traversed the sun in 2012. It will only happen in 115 years from now. And this is the picture from 2013 from that plane that I've showed you. 10 seconds of totality from Kenya with window opened. This was another expedition to the North Pole, and we saw this eclipse from a plane. Windows closed, of course, from 10,000 meters up in the sky. This is a composition of the eclipse from Indonesia, 2016. Of course, this is my main picture from the eclipse, because you can see here that actually you can look at the moon when it enters in the front of the sun. Photographically, you can see what's going on also on the moon, even if it is not illuminated by the sun. Okay, this is a thin question. And this is the expedition to the US in 2017, and you can see the protuberances at the edge of the sun. This is the diamond ring. This resembles a diamond ring, also on expedition in 2017 from America. And this is the expedition in desert Atacama Desert. It was quite nice because the weather over there is always sunny and no clouds. And for us, the eclipse chasers, the enemies are in fact clouds. This is the corona, elongated corona from that eclipse. And this is an expedition that I made in 2020 to Chile in COVID era. It was very tough to get there, and I was not able to see the total solar eclipse because of the clouds. You can see here that it was raining. I only managed to get some partial phases into my camera, and I was on the edge of some place on the edge of the Pacific Ocean, and two guys appeared and asked me, "Do you have a mask?" You know, and I put the mask on because it was regulations over there. I was the only one over there, but you know, regulations. And this is the eclipse from 2021. And of course, my last expedition to the Pacific Ocean in Timor Island. And if you have some questions, I will be glad to answer them. Yes, these. Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Please join me in thanking Cătălin for this. And before we continue with the question and answer session, I'd like to remind our viewers online, we're actually broadcasting live at the moment. I'd like to remind our viewers online that this is a live broadcast from Luxembourg, from the Lycée des Garçons in Limpertsburg. And this is in association with the Asteroid Foundation. And we have our guest here who is the tremendous eclipse hunter, Cătălin, who is happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I hope you will have some questions to ask him. Does anyone have any questions? Hands up.
Are you financially supported by the Luxembourg Space Agency when doing the... okay.
So what's your name? I didn't get your name. Bruno. Okay, no. So the expeditions are made from my pocket. So I will go to any place, anywhere on the planet where an eclipse occurs. Even if it's Atacama Desert, even if it's Antarctica, if it's Pacific Ocean or Siberia. So I plan this long in advance. I know where I will be in 2030. I will be in Namibia on 25th of November to see an eclipse from there. I know, let me see, in 2028, I will be in central Australia to see an awesome eclipse from there. So yes, I found myself with my money to go there and to photograph and maybe earn some prizes on the photographs. Actually, you have seen some photographs which were awarded at NASA and at Royal Observatory London. I was the second place, the third place, and so on London. And I have 2 pictures on NASA. Yes. And you can ask me anything about space because I'm an astronomy editor for this magazine in Romania, which is called Science and Technology. That is why I brought this telescope to stargazing and to see Saturn tonight and Jupiter and moons of Jupiter and moons of Saturn. So if you like to ask me about the solar system, the formation of the sun, the formation of the moon or the earth, or you know, something about the Saturn, you know, the rings. It's very interesting how they formed the rings of the Saturn, because we will see it tonight if you will come to that place. So don't be shy, and we have like 10 minutes or 5 minutes or so to answer your question. Yes? Yes, no? You're a little bit shy, yeah? No questions for the eclipses? Yeah, over there. Please come here. No?
Yeah. Do you have any goals on how many eclipses you want to see in your life?
This is a very interesting question. When I see the eclipse in Turkey back in 2006, that was my second eclipse that I saw. And when I saw this beautiful eye in the sky, when I saw this beautiful corona of the sun, I said to myself, I will not lose one eclipse again. And from 2006, I didn't lose any, even if there were in Africa, in the South Pacific, in Siberia, or in on the other side of the planet. So my goal is to saw them all. You know, saw them all. Actually, at 14th eclipses, I'm a junior. So I was on this expedition, on several expeditions, with some great, astronomers from the U.S. One of them is Glenn Schneider from NASA, and Glenn Schneider has like 35 total solar eclipses. Also, I traveled with the professor from the U.S., the late Professor Basachov, and the late Professor Basachov had like 76 of the eclipses all over the globe. So I've only seen 14th total solar eclipses and only 21 or 22 partial eclipses, but there are more. You know, don't be fooled about my gray hair. I'm still young, and my last eclipse, my first eclipse was in Romania in 1999, and I will hope that my last eclipse will be also from Romania, and the eclipse will occur in 2081. And I will be 104 years old. Maybe you will see this eclipse. I don't know if I will see it, but this is the end for me, will be the end for me at 104 years old. Or, I don't know. Okay, do you have questions?
One more question.
One question? Over there? We are heating up. If you don't have questions anymore, I will, okay. Oh, all right. What's your name? What's your name? Please.
Why did you start with chasing the eclipses?
Well, my start in astronomy wasn't about eclipses. I was playing hide and seek in the front of my house in Bucharest, and I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I've heard it on the radio that is a big comet coming to us. The comet was named the comet Halley. Do you know the Halley comet? Halley? Anyone? No one. Okay. It passes through Earth every 76 years. So this comet is coming from Jupiter and from, like 2 billion kilometers away, every 76 years visiting us. So in 1986, when I was only 7 years old, I thought that this comet is circling the moon. So I was hiding very, very well, and I saw the moon on the sky. It was a February month, very cold month, and it was this big moon, and it has a color, and I thought that this color of the moon was actually a comet, and that was my click on astronomy. So from then on, I just read it and read about astronomy. And when I was 22 years old, this eclipse comes to Romania, and I saw this eclipse. I was prepared to see this eclipse. And from that one, I was in love with this phenomena, which is called total solar eclipse.
Okay. The last question, which
The last
I'm going to
question.
take the liberty of asking is,
Okay.
other than going on holiday to all these places,
Yes, I go to holidays
Let me
with
finish.
my wife and daughter. Yeah. Yes, of course.
an eclipse is an eclipse. I mean, it's the same view all the time, but from either a beach in East Timor, or from the desert of Chile, or from Dallas, or from the stratosphere, an eclipse is an eclipse. So what's going to be exciting to these people sitting here? And remember, by the way, most of them were not born before 2006. So this is 2006 onwards, these kids. So what's to excite them about, other than the holiday itself? The view is the same. The sun, the moon, and spot in there, and the rings, and everything you can dream about.
Well, the sight is not the same. Because the corona of the sun is changing every day and every week. And now you can see an eclipse, so 2024 eclipse. It will be an eclipse with a rounded corona, like a sunflower corona. And in 2027, you will see an elongated corona, which is very interesting and very unique and very different from, it's like fingerprints. Every single eclipse is different. It's like a fingerprint, and you will have it in your mind for the rest of your life, of course, because it's not only the sight of the eclipse, it's also the traveling to the site of the eclipse, because these places are indeed unique. You don't want to travel to a deserted island. You don't want to travel to Antarctica or in southern Pacific Ocean just for the sake of it. So this travel will bring something, and will be remember for the rest of your life. And
Absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for this. And if anybody wants, if anybody wants to see Jupiter and Saturn tonight and their satellites, there's a leaflet outside which shows you where it is in Monsbach, Choutronge, and you're more than welcome to be there at 9 o'clock this evening. He has this telescope and he has a better one in Monsbach tonight. Finally, I'd like to bring this to a close. I'd like to thank LGL for hosting this. Thank you, Zheng, for hosting us here. And thank you very much, Cătălin, for coming here and enlightening us about all these eclipses and the wonderful information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.